Hey, it's another great day on Route 66. We just left Grants, New Mexico. We're headed into a little town called Milan, which is really part of Grants as well. This is a 1937 alignment, and the real 1926 road is way out there on the left, called Uranium Road, and that heads out of Grants and then merges up here with our 1937 road just as we pass over the railroad viaduct. And if you look down to the left from the bridge, you might be able to see some of the old road coming in to the little town of Milan. Anyway, here's our railroad viaduct. Anyway, founded in 1939 by a Mormon couple. They began growing vegetables in the volcanic soil of their 400-acre ranch. This place became the carrot capital of the world. And just ahead, that little sign right up there was a real famous place called the Green Goose Drive-In Restaurant. Iconic sign over the 1950s restaurant, originally called the Charco's, but later became the popular Green Goose Drive-In, known as the place where pirates and flatheads meet. Pirates was the name of the local high school team, and flatheads just refers to the old popular Route 66 cruisers. There's our beautiful sign right there. Building's all gone. We had that space age neon sign, used to have an arrow above it, on top read Green Goose Drive-In, at the bottom read tacos, hamburgers. Anyway, a block up on the left here by the Valero, we're gonna cruise right in there and take a look at some cool stuff. Across Route 66 by the Valero, this one here is called Jerry's Phillips 66 service station right here. Had a mechanic, offered bulk fuel oil delivered to your home. And today it looks like a kind of a residence there. Right here at the Allsup's Valero station, used to be an old Whiting Brothers service station. Anyway, that's been torn down and replaced here by the newer Valero. Right over here is this great drive-in theater behind these houses. We're going to do a whole lap around the theater. So now we're on East Street and Uranium Avenue, going down East Street. This whole site right here was the Trails Drive-In Theater, right in this whole boxed area. We're going to drive around the block. I'll tell you the story about this great theater. Opened in 1953, capacity of 300 cars. Anyway, from the aerial view, you can see the whole layout. Small concession building, camera booth right in the center there. And a single screen on the southeast corner, which would be right up here. It's not there anymore. Supported by huge wood timbers. And the ticket booth was way up in the upper northwest corner. Way up there is the ticket booth. The Trails Drive-In was part of the J.C. West network of theaters around Grants that included the West Theater, Sahara Drive-In, and the Lux Theater. And the original sign had a pretty simple look. Here we have The Toughest Man Alive, starring Dane Clark and Ralph Milan, 1955. So right about here on the corner, this is where the screen was. Right here, there's nothing left. You kind of see this huge drive-in theater. Anyway, later they added a terrific Googie style space age neon sign and a double feature here with Saskatchewan 1954 and Terror in a Texas Town 1958. So sadly, the drive-in closed down in 1984 and all the buildings and signs have been torn down. So in the back of the drive-in we just have a couple old houses here, and that's kind of the story of our Trails Drive-In Theater out here in Milan. Anyway, there we go. Here's a view way out there. Great drive-in. So all up and down here, no longer here. Tons of gas stations. Had the Milan 66, Lee's Mobile, Voix Texaco, all torn down. But this guy here we found on the southeast corner of West Street. Anyway, it became like a thrift store. Restored in 2010. We used to have a long glass or flat canopy right over the pump islands. And still the pump islands you see right about there. Plate glass windows in the little bay doors there, and a great looking office. Two long steel poles on the highway right here. So that held up that Texaco sign right on top. And across the street this way is the old Snake trading post right there by the Dollar General. This whole area here at Dollar General and this ruined out building here It's the site of the Lost Canyon Trading Post, opened in 1946 by Herman Atkinson and his wife Phyllis. So the trading post was a one-story flat roof building, canopy over the gas pump island and smaller adjunct building on the right. Their main business was selling Texaco gas, curios, merchandise, Kodak film for all the little travelers on Route 66. Even had car stickers. And on the left, this building right here is a little extra attraction. It's called the Den of Death. Anyway, it had lots of snakes. We had 2 giant boa constrictors in a cage. Anyway, they built a larger reptile house and added more snakes, called it the House of Cobras. Charged admission, expanded further, added more cobras, pythons, rattlesnakes, even anacondas. In 10 years, they had 400 snakes. Here's one of our snakes up here. The complex had these murals painted with palm trees and stepped up parapet facades. So the trading post was rebranded as Cobra Gardens. In the early 1950s, the interstate came by, bypassing the town, and the owners sold the business in 1954, moved out to Scottsdale, Arizona. The new owners of Thigpens, they ran it as a Cactus Gardens until they died in 1972. The next owners, the Smiths, they covered up the murals with a Far West theme, rebranded it as Milan Silver and Gold, selling handmade Navajo jewelry, silver supplies, various antiques. And here's what we have today. We're a beautiful Cobra Den of Death, House of Cobras building here. Anyway, the western motif, it's all been removed. But you might be able to see some palm trees along the way. We got the Saguaro cacti and a snake. All this cool stuff. Anyway, it's our old trading post. Here we got palm trees right here from the old Milan silver and gold. Look there. That's pretty neat. We got some more relics out this way. Across Route 66, we have the El Ranchero Cafe, 1950 sign right up there. It's relatively unchanged. Before it was the El Ranchero, this was the home of the Frontier Bar and restaurant dating back to the 1950s, 1960s. Original sign in the front read Frontier Bar Restaurant, made by the Xeon Sign Company in Albuquerque. Anyway, today it looks a lot the same as it did back then. That's pretty cool. Hey, here's the gas station. This guy here is a new gas station from the 1980s, but during Route 66 days, there's the Atex Oil Company station out here. Anyway, it looks like it's kind of in shambles. Not that old. 1980s. Gas pump islands in front. Some striping on the side. Hey, up ahead we have the now renting Flicks building. Anyway, they're out of business. This guy here, old Shamrock truck stop. The flat roof, office on the left with floor-to-ceiling windows. Anyway, it steps up to a garage bay. Said Shamrock right across the parapet there. Gas pump up front. No canopy though. Anyway, today this building looks a lot the same, but part of the office has been raised over, so now it's leveled out with the garage. Anyway, up front the pump islands are still there. Right there. Even what's left of the sign, this one's probably a bit newer. It's old Milan Shamrock Station. Right here. Wow, look at this, got 4 giant gas pump islands because there's a truck stop. This one here called Day and Night Market, opened in the 1950s. 2-story, one-stop complete food market. Open 24 hours a day. Offered tourist supplies, hardware, health and beauty products. Also had a delicatessen with big, tasty barbecue ribs. Anyway, the building looks the same as it did in Route 66 days. Had a large vertical neon sign right up front here. Day and Night Market, open 24 hours. Anyway, it's a cute building today. Across the street, we've got a Blake's Lotaburger right over here. Anyway, Blake's Lotaburger is pretty popular all across Route 66. But originally this was the Dinner Bell Cafe, famous for its homemade pies. Had the slogan, if your wife can't cook, don't divorce her, keep her for a pet, and eat at our place. Anyway, sadly that burned down. Here we have our Blake's mascot. He's standing tall and patriotic with his big V-shaped steel blue legs. You find this guy all throughout Route 66. Santa Fe, Tucumcari, Moriarty, Gallup, Grants, Albuquerque. Anyway, that store was store number 11. This here is an old gas station. It's called William Fields Chevron Standard Service Station, established in the 1950s. We had 2 service bays with pane windows on the left, and they're filled in a little bit. But on the right's the office here was those great big, large front windows. A long canopy over the pump islands, and a horizontal standard chevron shield on top. You know, the cross beams up here above the bay doors called transoms. So in 2016 the station was repainted as an art exhibit. We cleaned up the gas pumps here and also put in these little Navajo satellite design baskets. We have, here's one right here. This place here called Uncle Roy's. Originally this was the famous Milan motel built by Salvador Milan himself in 1946. 12-unit motel, log cabin style, had a semicircular layout with a central office right in the center. The set of gas pumps sat in front of the offices, and Salvador's wife, well, she ran the cafeteria. So later it grew to 20 units, some with kitchenettes, tiled bathrooms, air conditioning, combination tub and shower. Somehow, this beautiful motel survived the uranium bust and the opening of Interstate 40, but it finally closed its doors in the 1980s. Anyway, Ron Yates, he purchased it, opened up the Kachina Country USA Traveling Traders in 2021. That old 1963 neon sign was made. Anyway, it was replaced by a different one. Now we have Uncle Roy's here. It's a little pot shop. But see that cool sign right there? That's the Kachina Country USA Traveling Traders. Across the highway, this building right here, 1960s, is the Goodyear Mobile. Served as a distribution warehouse to the communities of Milan and Grants. 2 large roll-up bays, office on the right. Anyway, then it became Chavez Automotive. It looks like Cooper's Tires right there. This vacant lot right here, 1966, has a sign of Beeline Service Center. A little concrete foundation right there for the service center. And across the street, up by the Family Dollar, there's another vacant lot. Used to be a site of some former gas station. Anyway, had a couple of standalone pumps and a neon sign for gas right in front. And 2 blocks up on the south side, there's another vacant lot with a little history to it. Right in the corner here at Sand Street, used to be called the Bay Station. Little independent provider gasoline station, sold gas at a less expensive price, but went out of business. In that kind of gray block building right there, it's called a mobile station, box style design, corner office, 2 service bays. Nothing too special. This guy right here with tools on top, that's Bruce's Deep Rock Service Station, built in the 1960s. Still has a super fancy butterfly canopy wing up there on top. Sold auto and truck tires, batteries, complete lubrication, and oil changes. Office and service bays. Up here they've been all modified, but it's all torn down apparently. Hey, we got the train coming through, so it's kind of noisy. This here is an old Dairy Queen. Anyway, it closed its doors for good. Still has a framing for the original neon sign on top there. Anyway, it had colorful acrylic panels, missing the Dairy Queen logo. The circle used to say the Brazier, which I think is the name of the restaurant, right inside. The original sign dates back to 1963, and it closed down and it reopened now. It's called the Good, I don't know, Good something. Charbroiled Burgers. That's an old Dairy Queen here. So we're almost leaving the town of Milan. We got a little bridge here. over the culvert. Continuous concrete slab bridge is built in 1939, then widened and replaced here with a 4-lane in 1955. And up ahead, we have that motel right there. It's called the Crossroads Motel. This is one of our Franciscan lodges, one in Grants, one in Blue Water. And this is the third one. We'll call it the Crossroads. Anyway, named Franciscan 2, then the Stagecoach in the 1990s, and then today it's called Crossroads. 15-room, L-shaped design, TV, carpeted, air-conditioned. Anyway, isn't that just wonderful and beautiful? Anyway, and this is called the Toltec. Anyway, called Joe's Bar right there, owned by Joe Dominguez in the 1950s, 1960s. Had that little wooden facade and a stepped-up parapet. And now we are at the end of Milan on Route 66. So we're headed out to beautiful Blue Water, New Mexico. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.